Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Good evening, everyone. 2 people remain on the run tonight after a man was shot in the face in Inver May yesterday evening. The 33-year-old is in a stable condition at the Royal Hobart Hospital as police appeal for the public to help catch the offender.
Police descend on a dark street in Inver May after reports of gunfire.
And I heard this horrific bang. It was like a bomb. It nearly gave me a heart attack, if you want the truth.
It's believed 2 people came to this home around 10:20 last night. A weapon was fired, leaving a 33-year-old man with bullet fragments near his eye and temple.
A victim has received a gunshot wound to the face. That victim is currently in the Royal Hobart Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Today, dry blood remained on the pavement as forensic officers returned to the scene. Police are now looking for 2 men who they say knew the victim. They're appealing for any witnesses and CCTV that might have captured the pair in the area.
One dressed in shorts, one in long trousers, who both were in baseball caps, who were seen in the area of Hobart Street, possibly heading towards Inver May Road.
It's the 3rd alleged shooting in Tasmania in less than a fortnight, following a separate incident in Bridgewater and an alleged siege in Trevellyn. Police say there's no cause for community alarm.
But what we are concerned about is obviously the use of firearms in these violent crimes.
Neighbours in Inver May remain shaken.
Well, I just continued watching television and getting over it all. But then I thought, didn't know. I'm in shock now, actually.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanians are being urged to look out for one another this festive season after a suspected drink spiking left one woman fearing for her life. Venue owners say it can be a tricky problem to fight, but they're committed to keeping their patrons safe around this busy Christmas period.
Recovering with her family, days after a suspected drink spiking left Mandy collapsed on a Salamanca footpath, thinking she was going to die.
I think, well, why are people doing this to other people? It's not about me keeping myself safe, it's about other people not doing this to me.
After sharing her story yesterday, it sparked widespread concern. St John ambulance staff who patrol Salamanca say incidents happened year-round, but are more prevalent in the festive season.
I wouldn't say it's common, but we do hear that it is reasonably regular, and at this time of the year it seems to raise its head a lot more than normal.
Symptoms often taking just minutes to appear.
The key thing is what ultimately happens is you pass out and you don't know where you are, and when you wake up it could be several hours later and you have no idea what happened.
Today, venue owners conceding it's a difficult problem to fight.
There's no set way to deal with these sort of things, so what we're trying to do is work with our colleagues around the country to find out what they've done and make sure that we implement everything we can to make people safe in our venues.
Most of the times when people are having their drinks spiked, that alcohol is what is being used. It's not what people commonly think of when their drinks are being spiked. People should always be vigilant when they're out and about.
An important reminder to look out for your loved ones this season.
It's really important that we don't start conversations around judgment on the victim's part. Everybody's entitled to go out and have a drink and celebrate this festive season.
Whatever you do, don't leave them and try and get them into a safe place where somebody can help them, and if need be, take them home.
Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
Police are still hunting for a man who held up a Hobart pharmacy with a syringe on Saturday afternoon. They've released this image of the man dressed in a black hoodie, wearing gloves and sunglasses. He's described as 180 centimetres tall with a blonde moustache or beard and is likely aged in his 30s. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. An alleged senior member of the Bandidos outlaw motorcycle gang has been charged by police with a string of serious offences. It's alleged the club's sergeant-at-arms seriously assaulted an Italian citizen in Devonport last January. The 37-year-old has also been charged with unlawfully trafficking firearms and aggravated burglary. He'll appear in the Devonport Magistrates Court in February. 2 other alleged gang members and 3 associates are also facing various charges. Tasmania has been dealt a biosecurity blow with the detection of another adult fruit fly on Flinders Island after months in the clear. Fruit growers on the Tasmanian mainland are still hopeful they'll remain free of detection and be declared free of fruit flies.
As fruit growers reach their peak season, news today of a lingering pest re-emerging. Authorities confirming the detection of a single male adult fruit fly at Lady Barron on Flinders Island, near a previously infected property.
The surveillance activities will be raised, so we put out extra traps around where the fly was detected, etc. We immediately start baiting again. We know there's a fly there, so we assume that there might be more.
Control measures were set to be lifted on Flinders this week after months of no detections, but that's now been pushed back to March. The concerning part, the devastating pest survived winter.
That's possible on Flinders Island. We think it's far less likely in the northern control area of Tasmania, and a single fly would have to find some ideal circumstances to survive.
Fruit growers are still hopeful northern Tasmania will again be declared fruit fly free next month, lifting restrictions on movement of produce and reopening export markets.
We're confident still, even with this detection of a single male adult fly on Flinders Island in the Lady Barron group, that it doesn't affect our northern reinstatement, which is our northern control zones.
Tasmanians urged to continue to be vigilant of the pest. Any sightings should be reported to Biosecurity Tasmania. Michael Breen, 7 Tasmanian News.
A long-running feud between the Launceston Airport and the Northern Midlands Council will soon come to a head in the federal court. The dispute began 4 years ago over what the council claimed at the time was more than $1 million of unpaid rates.
It's fair to say the standoff between the council and the airport over rates is complicated.
It's basically a local government taking the Commonwealth to court, and Launceston Airport, as I understand it, is sort of caught up in the middle.
The crux of the argument regards the land. Although the airport lies within the Northern Midlands Council's boundary, the land itself is under Commonwealth Government control. The airport says it's been paying an ex gratia amount to cover its costs, but the council's previously said the fact that the airport is exempt from some payments is unfair.
The court process just has to happen, and we'll see what the outcome is, and hopefully it'll be good for us. Good for our ratepayers.
The Commonwealth, who are our landlord after all, have said that we are fully in compliance with our lease in terms of fulfilling all the obligations we have under that lease, including the payments that we've been making. The council are looking to have the law changed.
With a federal court hearing expected to take place in March, neither party was in a position to say too much today, but others say it's a real shame it's come to this.
We're really trying to put Launceston on the map as a great place to be, and it would be a shame for it to be referred to as where they're having a legal dispute. Whether or not that makes the nightly news when people are planning their holidays, who knows? But we'd much rather focus on the good things about Launceston Airport.
The ramifications of the court ruling will not only be expensive for one party, but could potentially set a precedent.
We're not the only airport in this boat. The court case is also involving Hobart Airport, and in fact has implications for all airports in Australia who operate under similar leases from the Commonwealth.
Jessie Gilmore, 7 Tasmanian News.
A crucial council meeting is underway tonight, which could determine the future of Hobart's skyline. Our reporter Michelle Wisby joins us now. Michelle, what's at stake tonight?
Joe, it's a decision that could potentially change the look of Hobart for generations to come. A report was recently handed to Council which recommended the building height limit in some areas be increased to a maximum of 75 metres. But the Council's Planning Committee went against the idea. It's gone on to recommend a strict 45-metre height limit for buildings in the CBD and shorter in some other areas. It's this idea which is being debated tonight. We spoke to the Hobart Lord Mayor Anna Reynolds about this earlier today. Also to the Property Council, which called for further investigation into any changes.
You need viability and you need scale to be able to make these proposals work. Simply imposing an arbitrary height limit puts some of these proposals at risk.
It's very clear that there's a lot of things on everyone's mind about the future character of our city, the economic development of our city, the affordability of our housing.
Right now, the council is having a heated debate about the changes. Some aldermen have already called for more investigation, especially into the impact changes could have on the lives of Hobart's people and the environment. So we'll have to wait and see just what plays out later this evening.
OK, thank you very much for that, Michelle. Heavy rains brought parts of Hobart to a standstill yesterday. The rivulet was transformed into rapids as 26 millimetres fell on the city in just under an hour. Traffic on the Tasman Bridge was reduced to a crawl as drivers navigated the wet weather. Launceston Arena was also given a soaking. Meanwhile, in the north, a flood warning for the South Esk River has been downgraded to minor. Construction is about to begin on a Tasmanian dementia village, specially designed to care for people affected by the condition. It's being set up like a town, with housing, shops and a cafe, but keeps residents in a secure environment.
Turning the sod on a facility said to be the future of dementia care. This vacant land at Moona to become the Kurunji Dementia Village.
Today is the launch of the design of Kurunji Village, which is Australia's first village for those individuals living with dementia. 12 8-bedroom houses will be built around cul-de-sacs. Styled like a small village, it will have gardens, shops, a cafe bar and cinema. The 96 residents able to walk around freely. We have a secure front door, effectively, which is monitored. The design of the village has been very much done with dementia design principles. It's about orientation and wayfinding, so people are encouraged to stay within the village.
So-called dementia villages have been developed overseas, but this is said to be one of the first of its kind in Australia, offering specialist care for people affected by dementia conditions. This project will be examined by researchers to determine future models of care.
So I think the Kurunji development is a really vital first step towards understanding how you provide high quality care to people with dementia, and we hope then it will be adopted by other organisations around Australia.
The village is expected to start accepting residents by 2020. Michael Breen, 7 Tasmania News.
Several Tasmanian sporting sites will soon benefit from federal funding thanks to a national community sport infrastructure grant program. Taking to the courts, federal members announced a $1 million boost towards the Launceston Tennis, Community and Events Centre.
This helps us to enable to get one step closer to the fruition of this project, which helps engage and drive people to participation and provide a real home, future-proof the Launceston International, which the community get to enjoy.
It'll go a long way to producing more players, not only in Tasmania but for the Australian, for the national scene in Australia.
Following the state government's contribution of $2 million towards the project earlier this year, it's hoped the Launceston City Council will provide the remaining $600,000 needed for the facility to be built. The Devonport City Soccer Club, Leven Yacht Club and Huon Valley Police and Community Youth Club are among others to also receive federal funding. There's good news for greyhound owners, with the pets now able to go for walks or runs in the park muzzle-free. The state government has removed the rule, provided the pets are accredited through the adoption program or by Brightside Farm Sanctuary. It's hoped the move will help the industry's efforts to find homes for dogs retired from racing. Owners can find more information about the new rules by heading to the Dipipwi website. Meanwhile, Tas Racing is calling it the most open field in the event's history, with 5 local and 3 interstate dogs set to battle it out in Tasmania's only Group 1 race, the Hobart 1000.
Any one of 5 of the dogs that are in there run about between 25.62 and 25.80, which is about 2 lengths between them. So running that first split to the first turn, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Trainers Mick Stringer and Blake Purcell will be among the Tasmanians vying for the $75,000 prize purse, with dogs Despacito and Be Like Bill.
To become a group trainer at my age, it'd just be an honour. There's not many words that you can really explain the feeling that it'll be. It's an honour to be in the race.
Drawn well, he won from the 2 box. He won his heat from the 2 box, and he's in the mix for sure.
The Hobart 1000 begins on Thursday night. 2 men have been rescued by members of the public after their boat became stranded on rocks inside the Musselrow Bay Barway last night. A local boat owner and a volunteer came to the rescue, helping secure the boat and get the pair to dry land. The vessel sustained significant damage to its propulsion systems, but luckily no one was injured. One of Tasmania's largest businesses has taken a landmark step forward today in its aim to reduce the gender pay gap. Hydro Tasmania announcing its commitment to paying superannuation to staff while they're taking unpaid parental leave.
We take time off to have our babies and then often return part-time as well. So if you factor that in over, 1, 2, 3, 4 children, that can have a significant impact.
They are living their own lives and supporting their families. I think it's important that we do everything we can to make that career work for them.
National data shows on average women retire with about half the amount of superannuation as men.
He belted his way to cricketing stardom last Big Bash season, and it's since been a crazy year for Hurricanes cult hero Darcy Short. From the big bucks of the IPL to representing his country, Short is now hoping to help the Canes go one better in BBLOA. He was barely known throughout the cricketing landscape a few years ago, but after being named player of the tournament last Big Bash season, that changed drastically.
I just kind of went out to try and be as consistent as I could and contribute as much as I could to the team, and just went a lot better than what I expected.
Picked up for close to $800,000 by Indian Premier League side the Rajasthan Royals, Short then earned selection in Australia's T20 side for the Trans-Tasman Tri-Series, scoring a match-winning knock of 76 against the Kiwis at Eden Park to help the Aussies claim the tournament.
A dream for every cricketer that wants to play for Australia. As soon as you get in there, you want more, and you want to keep playing it for as long as possible.
Going on to represent the country in the one-day format also, runs prove fewer and farther between at times as the constant pressure to perform at the international level set in.
I think after the first series it kind of got a little bit overwhelming because I wanted to keep doing well and wanted to stay there a bit, and kind of got on top of me a little bit, but sorted that out now and just trying to get back to having fun and enjoying cricket.
In September, the 28-year-old blasted a record-breaking knock of 257 for home state Western Australia in the domestic one-day cup, declaring in no uncertain terms his intention to play for Australia in next year's ODI World Cup. But for now, Short is keen to emulate performances like this in a new-look Hurricane squad for the upcoming BBL season, with the heavy hitter now very well aware of what a standout tournament can do for his career.
That's what I'm basically working towards now, and hopefully I have another good BBL this year to push my case for the World Cup. Definitely been a whirlwind, that's for sure. Life's kind of turned upside down a little bit, but it's definitely good.
After their hopes of an historic third Hockey World Cup crown were shattered by the Netherlands, the Kookaburras claiming the bronze medal against England in India overnight. The top-ranked Aussies were never in doubt, racing away to a 3-0 half-time lead before slotting 5 more through to come away with the 8-1 win. It was also a night to remember for cyclist Amy Cure at the Track World Cup in London, with the Tasmanian and teammate Annette Edmondson securing the silver medal at the Madison event.
Good evening. Some humidity detected today, or either that or my deodorant wasn't working properly. Temperatures did jump above average over the north and northeast. Hobart 22, Launceston 26, Burnie 24, Devonport and Cressy 28 degrees, the warmest around the state. A few isolated showers over the west, south and east, 5 millimetres at Tasman Island, the highest total. St Helens 27 degrees, Friendly Beaches and Fingal 25. Scottsdale 24 today and Bushy Park 23, Lowhead 22 and Grove 21, Flinders Island and Strawn 20 and King Island 18 degrees. Now here's the close-up cloud capture, a mostly low cloud over the state today, swirling in that northeasterly sea breeze. That cloud is also back over the Bight. More cloud due to a trough is over southern WA and South Australia. Remnants of tropical cyclone Owen off the Queensland coast with high cloud to the south. And we also have convective cloud over eastern parts further south again. Tomorrow a high moves to our southwest. A broad area of low pressure forms over the mainland with troughs over northern and central Australia. South to southeast winds at 10 to 20 knots. However, easterly through Bass Strait, swells to 3 metres in southern waters. A minor flood warning continues for the South Esk River. Tuesday in Hobart, we can expect a shower or two. 13 overnight, 18 the top tomorrow, 18 the high for Adventure Bay, an early shower, a shower clearing from Tarraleah as well, 19 the maximum. 23 for Launceston, a late shower moving in, 20 for Devonport and 21 for Bridport with a shower. Burnie, a possible late shower, 20 degrees, 22 for Strawn and partly cloudy, a few showers for Marrawara, 19. And for St Helens tomorrow, a shower or two clearing, 18 the top, 17 for Swansea, a top of 20 on Flinders Island at Whitemark. UV very high for Hobart, extreme elsewhere. On Wednesday, showers over the west extending to the north in the afternoon and maybe later over the east. A few showers on Thursday, easing in the evening with winds turning southerly, and on Friday showers again, more likely in the north. A sunny 27 in Perth tomorrow, warm and partly cloudy in Adelaide, some high cloud over Melbourne and 22 degrees, a shower or two for Sydney and Brisbane. And currently a little cool and cloudy over Hobart, but sunny and warmer in the north, Jo.
Thanks so much for that, Murph, and that's all from the team. Have a great evening. Good night.